This is the Share the Knowledge podcast for DJs. So this next question is actually something I wanted to address quite some time ago. Not the actual question, but what is mentioned in the question, because if you're familiar with my Saturday Super Sessions, those are my giant scratch compilation videos where I invite a lot of people to scratch over a beat I made, and then I take a lot of these videos from people, I put them all together and turn it into one video, and you get this long scratch compilation with DJs from all over the globe, cutting it up on different type of equipment, from controllers to CDJs, turntables, you name it. Something I noticed on multiple occasions is DJs with controllers who were scratching using their hand on the wrong side of the platter. So what I mean by that is, if you're using a turntable, your hand will be on the left side of the vinyl. So you have to imagine, if you place that vinyl on a turntable, and you have the middle of the vinyl and you have the left side and the right side. Your hand is on the left side of the vinyl, because on the right side there's a needle. So your hand is not on that needle side, because you're going to bump into that tone arm and needle, and then you don't have sound anymore. And you're probably wrecking your cartridges, your needles, you name it. I see DJs using controllers, and they're holding their hand on the right side of that platter instead of the left. Now, what they don't really notice, because the platter is not moving, is that they're actually going in the wrong direction. If it's moving this way, the vinyl is moving this way, and my hand is here, I'm going in the same direction as the record is moving. If your hand is on this side and the record is moving that way, and you're going to scratch like this, you're actually scratching the wrong side. So you're moving it backwards and then forward. And if you're scratching on this side, you're going forward and backward. Now, I understand if you're listening to the podcast right now, it's a little bit harder because I'm actually illustrating it for the video now. So make sure you check this out on YouTube. But I've seen them do that. And in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. They're actually doing it the wrong way around now, because they're doing the scratch movement. But when our scratch movement is going forward and backwards, their forward movement is actually backwards on the platter. Now, let me just jump into this question for a sec, because this just reminded me of that situation. So this DJ learned to DJ on CDJs and learned how to scratch on CDJ 1000. Now, because the platter did not move, he figured out how to scratch on his own. Somehow he started to scratch on the outside of the jog wheel instead of the inside. So that's what I mean when I say left side, right side. Left side is the inside, right side is the outside of that jog wheel. Now, I bought the Rain 12 because I want to start different levels, and the spinning platter will help with the optics. I'm having a hard time now with scratching the right way. If I scratch the way I did on the CDJ 1000, I will be fighting the record. So yes, you're going in the wrong direction. Do you have any advice, and could you help me? I'm really struggling over here. So like I explained, if someone learns on a controller and doesn't realize that they're using the wrong side of the platter, then they're going in the wrong direction. Now, in this case, this DJ switched to a Rain 12, which is a controller but with a motorized platter. So the platter is moving in that right direction. So if your hand is now on the right side, you're now going against that torque of the platter. You're going in the wrong direction. So when you're moving your hand up forwards, you're actually you're making the platter go in reverse. So yes, you didn't notice when you were using a regular controller with a regular jog wheel. Now that you have that motor actually spinning, you're going to feel that you're going in the wrong direction. Now, there's only one thing you can do. You have to start practicing with that hand on the inside, the left side of the jog wheel. That is the only solution. You have to really now get adjusted to moving your hand in that right direction, going with the grain, not against the grain. Let me try to explain it like that. We're going with the rotation, with the revolution of that record, instead of going against it. So yes, it sucks because you taught yourself how to do it the wrong way. You now have to unlearn that and learn how to do it the correct way. So look, this happens with all sorts of things. In sports, you see it all the time as well. If people teach themselves how to do certain things, they might actually be teaching themselves the wrong way to perform a certain move. They're not using the right technique to do it. And in some cases, it works. But once you get proper training and someone now shows you, no, you're not doing it right, this is how you're supposed to do it, that's going to be a setback because you have to unlearn and start from scratch. Now, of course, I believe that once you can make that switch in your head and move to the other side of the platter, you'll probably get back to a level pretty soon. I'm not sure, but it's going to take practice, but it's not going to be like you're really starting from zero because you already have some scratch experience. So hopefully once you adjust and you get your muscle memory to really learn that new movement, some of the rest of the skills you learned will be able to be incorporated into that. But yes, you will have to start to do a lot of practice. That's the only way this will work out. So good luck, man. It's a struggle. I understand. I feel for you, but you're going to have to put in more work. So if you're watching this or if you're listening to the podcast and you're just learning how to scratch on a controller, make sure you have your hand on the correct side of the platter. So left. And take a look at a turntable. Take a look at a turntable online, a video of a moving platter. See the direction that it's moving in and understand that you're going with that direction, in the same direction and not against it. Hopefully that helps you out if you're just checking this out for the first time. You just checked out a video clip from my Share the Knowledge podcast. If you want to check out the full audio episodes, you can find me on Anchor, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, you name it. Links are in the description box down below, so make sure you check that out. If this is your first time checking out my YouTube channel, I have a lot of DJ-related content, educational content for DJs, tips and tricks, tutorials, reviews, you name it. So make sure you subscribe and activate the notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. See you next time.